Thank you for being here, Coral, and thanks, Donna. It's a pleasure. I'm excited to be able I'm excited to have the opportunity to talk about book bloggers who've been just such a tremendous, really supportive and helpful, and just really wonderful, generous to me. And so it's nice to be able to turn the tables for once and say, thank you, bloggers, and for all you've done. When I first published my novel in 2010, I come from the fiction world, and I was very shy about kind of the whole process, and I really didn't know what to do, and I sold, a couple hundred books over maybe 4 or 5 months, and then I did my first book in May of 2011, and between May of 2011, just truly from the generosity and support of bloggers sharing the news and inviting me to be on their blogs and so on. Between May of 2011 and August of 2011, sales went from 45 books a month to almost 20,000 in the month of August. And this just would never have happened without book bloggers. They are I like to call them the fairy godmothers and godfathers of the literary, the industry, indie revolution. And I really think that truly, it sounds a little cheesy, I guess, but bloggers are one of my heroes because, I feel that they are the ones who've allowed this populist movement to take shape. Book bloggers they're there, they form really wonderful communities with readers, they introduce readers to authors, they review books, which we wouldn't be able to get. We can't get traditional book reviews, so they do the book review. By doing the book reviewing, that makes it easier for readers to take a chance. It not only introduces us, but it says, okay, somebody has vetted this author. It's okay to take a chance and to plunk down hard-earned money in a recession to buy a book that, it's scary otherwise to buy a book that might not sell. So I think that bloggers really are responsible for doing all this, and this is, in my view, what has driven and what's maintaining the indie revolution. Yeah, that's a really good question. I think a lot of times I've spoken with a lot of authors. People ask me questions often about book blogs and whether or not it makes sense. People want to know, does book blog result in direct sales? And it doesn't. That's not the way a book blog is supposed to work, and it's not the way it does work. Mm-hmm. There's an old marketing saying that it takes 7 times for a potential client to actually be ready to buy a book. And so what a book blog does is it introduces the author to readers, to the bloggers, readers, and to the world, really, through sharing on Twitter and so on. And so it creates visibility. It not only builds the author's platform, but it creates visibility. And as I said, it also, many times bloggers will review a book. Some don't, but some tours don't work. But often bloggers will review a book. They may interview the author. They may offer the author the opportunity to do a guest post. In any of those ways, it introduces the author to the world, and so that builds a platform. And so, and book bloggers do this because they love books, they feel very committed to the industry. And I talk to so many bloggers, they feel very committed to publishing, success of the industry, but they're also committed to indie authors. They want to help indie authors succeed. So, and they're doing this for nothing. You guys don't get paid. Throw money on your blogs. And it's considerable. It's considerable time, considerable energy, considerable money, financial investment. So for an author to say, oh, well, I don't want to do a book because I don't want to do a tour or a post with such and such a blogger because, her or his audience isn't big enough, or, something like that, I think is really small thinking. I think that we need to look at this as a process between both author and blogger, as this is something that we're doing together. And as such, you're putting out so much, we owe you at least as much back. And that means going to the blogs and commenting when readers, leaving a comment back when readers comment. I mean, that's hard to do. We're all tremendously busy today, and social network, it can be really overwhelming at times. And sometimes, I need a product. Sometimes I need a blogger to say to me, I've done a guest post or an interview or something like that, and sometimes a blogger will say to me, hey, there are a few comments which might be funny. I mean, I really appreciate that. I always do that immediately. I try to do it anyway, but if somebody comments immediately, things. Well, one thing I think that authors need to, and I think a lot of authors are already aware of the phenomenal job that bloggers do. Like that, for those who aren't, I think to begin with, we need to change our attitude toward bloggers. You're not there for our service. You're not there. Bloggers are tremendously generous with us. I mean, it's certainly a service that you are providing for not only us but for readers as well. But you're not there for you don't work for us. And I think that that's an attitude that really needs to change. I've heard horror stories from bloggers who said that authors will query them and not even spell their names correctly, or pay no attention, other kinds of things that they no attention to their reading preferences, no attention to whether or not they want an ebook or a paperback book, for example. So all these sort of things just show basic respect, and I think that needs to start there. I think all of us are really aware of the generosity of bloggers and willing to have a frame of come to this process with a frame of mind that we're working together, but that you're not working for us, but with us, and also really just doing so much because out of your own generosity. So I think that that's one thing that we need to do. Another thing I think is that we need to be, as I was saying on the last question, I think we need to be aware that when a blogger puts us on their blog where that is generating traffic, but the only way that the process works is simply respond to comments. So I think that we need to be present. We need to get on the blogs and do our part. We need to share the blogs. That means that we share our own posts. If you interview me or review my book or allow me a guest post, then the very least I can do is share that on Facebook, Twitter, G+, or whatever social platforms I happen to have. And I think, again, that's a very basic thing that we can and should do to say, hey, thanks, I really appreciate what you're doing. Thanks. But I think that we also can follow blogs. I try to always remind myself, or I try to remember to be sure I follow a blogger because they're kind enough to offer me a spot because of her blog. And so we can follow the bloggers, we can share posts on ours as well. We can integrate or link back to a blogger's post if it happens something's pertinent to a blog that we're doing. So I think it's really just a matter of being part of the community, not just standing above it and saying, hey, I'm an author, you're working at my behest. It's like, hey, we're a community, we're working together, we can all really support one another. Mm-hmm. That's another really good question. I do think that the field is getting more crowded, for sure. When I published my novel, you were one of the first people, Russell was one of the first people to review it for me, so thank you again for that. But that time we arranged my blog tour within about, I think it was about a month, novel publicity, set it up, putting in, and got the whole ball rolling. Today, a lot of bloggers have waiting lists that can be months long, some of them 6 months long. Some bloggers are closing their blog to new books temporarily just because they're so swamped and overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. So I think there's certainly that. At the same time, I feel that bloggers are very open to indie authors. One of them, and I've heard this from so many bloggers, that one of their primary goals is to support the indie community. So I think in that sense, bloggers do give us a preference, and I think that's really wonderful, and we're very fortunate. The other thing is that with this influx of traditionally published authors, not only in the online community, but also more traditionally traditionally published authors moving to self-publishing, the bar is raised. It means that we need to work harder. We need to make sure that we're publishing books that are good quality books. We're editing them, we're hiring professional editors, we may be bartering, but hiring professional editors to edit the work, we're getting a good cover design, etc., so that we play in the same field as the traditional publishers. I think if all things being equal, absolutely, I think many bloggers will give the preference or give the leg up to an indie author. But if we publish a book that doesn't hold a candle to the traditional published book, why should we expect people to do that? So I do think that there are those issues to consider. I think that certainly, again, it is getting more difficult. There's a lot more noise out there today. It's getting more and more difficult for people to rise above the noise, but it certainly can be done. And I think, as long as we do our part, I think that's not the biggest thing right now. Sure. Thank you so much. Rewrite Gift was something that Donna and I kind of came up with together. We thought it would be really fun to bring bloggers on to the blog, and I love that idea because it turns the tables. Donna Brown did a coordinated everything event called For Love of Love. Celebrating indie authors. And for that event, we had a couple of bloggers talk about why they liked publishing indie authors. We had a number of different people from the industry. Amy Edelman, who's the editor of Indie Reader, which is a consumer book, the editors of Digital Book Today, and also Innovation Daily, so Steve and Anthony. So it was just really a lot of fun. It generated a lot of interest. But one of the things I noticed was that we both noticed, is that people really loved hearing about bloggers. We often, there are always interviews with indies, and we're always talking about ourselves and whatnot, but bloggers don't. Bloggers blog or have other people have us on their blogs, and they didn't really talk about themselves, except maybe the little about section. So having the chance to interview them, introduce them to authors, and I felt really, just what we were talking about before, it really supported the community. It made us more of a community. It created connections between authors and books, and I really liked that. So that was one aspect of it. And then in terms of the charity, this was something I've been wanting to do and talking about doing for quite a while. I felt it was very important to have some kind of charitable connection with Amazingly, but with my books in general. And so that was something I've been wanting to do. And we noticed that one of the things bloggers are talking about, they're very generous people, and they like talking about charities. And so this idea, just sort of talked about this, and this idea came up that, I want to do charity anyway, let's do a charity, the bloggers favorite charity. Now this not only gives the bloggers a chance to introduce themselves, but it gives them a chance to promote their favorite charity, which is a really cool thing to do. It gives charities a spotlight, which is another really cool thing I think. So it just seemed like a win-win for everybody. So it's something that I'm very proud of, actually, that we've done, that we've been able to accomplish. Really, the main message that I want to get across is really just to say thank you. You put it so perfectly and succinctly. This is what bloggers do. They do stay up till midnight to put another post up. Again, they're putting time and energy and money into their blogs. They're giving us opportunities, or open doors, to connecting readers. Bloggers really are responsible for building a community. They have readers who follow them. They open doors, they allow readers and authors to connect. It's almost like the old-fashioned literary salon, but with every single blog is different. Different bloggers have different tastes, and so it's just really made this a tremendously, at least from my perspective, a tremendously vibrant community, and it's really changed the face of the publishing industry and the relationship between authors and readers. So I just want to say thank you. I feel tremendously grateful. I never dreamed a year ago when I published my book. As I said, I was very shy about publishing it, about marketing it, and Norm has helped me get over that because he was so kind to me and so generous, and just made me feel comfortable, made me feel like a part of this community, made me feel okay about having published my own book, and that was just such an enormously big deal to me. I started with the idea. My dream was that I might sell 5,000 books, and I sold over 120,000, and that is because of bloggers. And that is the kind of behind every successful author, from Amanda Hawking, who also attributed her success to bloggers. The most popular New York Times and USA Today bestselling indie authors today, we all owe our success to the kindness and generosity of bloggers. And so I just really want to say thank you. I'm deeply, tremendously grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.